Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode here on Talkdaily, where today we're going to do a breakdown about the 2022 Honda Civic. And I'm getting my information from automobiles.honda.com, the website for Honda. And I'm going to basically tell you what's my opinion of the Honda Civic and which one I recommend for you to buy. Now, understanding that I love hybrid technology, and hybrid technology is not available in the Civic per se. They have it in the inside, which is pretty much a Civic. Okay, so if you want to get a hybrid technology, you will get that from the Honda Insight. Okay, so now we're going to be focusing on the Honda Civic. If you don't know how I get to this, you basically go to Honda. That's the Honda website. It's beautiful, shows you what everything they make, from cars to motorcycles to, the entry in motorsport, airplanes and boats, and Honda makes a lot of cool stuff. You just click on the Honda motors and bam, you go different, you see all the cars Honda makes, and we click on the Civic. So bam, here is the Civic. They're boasting 31 mile per gallon in the city and 40 in the highway at a starting price of $22,550. Now, there's two engines that come in the Civic. The Civic all comes in. They have. Do they still have the 2 doors? We're gonna find out if they still have the 2 doors. I don't think they still have the 2 doors. I think it's all 4 door. Maybe the SI is 2 door. So, anyways, let's look at it. Yes, there you go. It's all 4 doors. So the Civic is all 4 doors. So we're gonna look at the technology that comes with it. So one of the performers. So what I'm showing you right here is the engine. That's for the 1.5 liter turbo. And how do you know it's turbo? You have an intercooler, air-to-air intercooler, and that's the actuator. That's the electronic actuator. Turbocharger sits over here. So what engine do I recommend? What platform I recommend? I recommend the turbocharged engine, not because I just love a turbo, because I think turbo is fantastic. I think it's very efficient. Turbocharging is very clever design. Okay, what turbocharger does is just sucks air, extra air. That's basically, it's a blower that just sucks extra air, and you add extra fuel and get more power, instead of just naturally the piston going down and just sucking whatever some atmospheric pressure is available. So turbocharging is more efficient. So all you need to remember is more efficient. Turbocharging comes with a little bit extra plumbing. What you're looking at is this intercooler, because the turbocharger compresses hot air. When it compresses air, it gets hot. You don't want a lot of hot air, because hot air is just hot air, right? It's expanded, right? You want more oxygen in the air. You want it to be cooler. You want it more dense. So that plumbing right here is designed to reduce the temperature by having the hot air coming through. Through in this channel right here, the intercooler, cold air goes through it, it cools it down a little bit, and the temperature between the inlet and the outlet drops a little bit, and that goes into your engine, and the engine goes num 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 with fuel. Yay, happy. So, and it gives you more power. Again, Google turbocharger work is very fantastic. The technology comes all the way from like World War II and whatnot, for airplanes. Anyways, but and you have direct injection, and what you can notice over here, the spark plug coil on plug, and you can see that there's a direct injection. Direct injection has its flaws as far as the carbon buildup, because fuel just gets sprayed directly into the engine. It doesn't get sprayed into the manifold. So the fuel particles, very high pressure. The fuel mixed up with some of the oil from the piston rings. There's some residual oil usually, especially when the mileage goes up. Brand new engine tolerance might be good. But anyways, that is just natural wear and tear. And you have some carbon buildup on the valves that's on top of the engine. Extreme carbon buildup will cause engine hesitation, like the engine won't idle properly, and again, that's you should maintain your engine. Okay, so it's not fault of this engine or Honda, or it's just the design of direct injection, which other companies uses. Now, other companies use direct injection alongside with port injection. Port injection is more the classic gas being spilled into the intake manifold, and then it's finding its way to the engine. You basically like tubes. Can you imagine, like if you have 4-cylinder, you have like tubes going to each one and gas mix into it. That technology is old. Now we have direct injection. Some company uses the combination of port injection and direct injection, because port injection, gasoline acts as a cleaner, so it really removes a lot of the carbon buildup. And so Toyota uses both. They have some port injection and direct injection, and the port injection is its job is to keep the carbon buildup at bay. Now that is just, again, I'm just telling about the maintenance of this engine. Like, I'm trying to find you the good and the bad. That is really nothing bad. I'm just telling you, it's just maintenance. The second thing, they had issues with this engine. Again, it's just people don't warm it up. If you don't warm up your engine and you just crank it and just take off, that's bad for any engine, especially internal combustion engine. let it warm up. Give it a minute. Let it warm up. Let all the oil go to all the passages, and let if you just drive your engine when it's cold, it's just metal on metal. You want the oil to find its way and warm up and lubricate all the components, all the moving components. Now, in this case of the Honda, the fuel would get mixed up with oil, and that would dilute the fuel. Excuse me, that would dilute the oil, because fuel is a solvent and it dissolves some of the oil. So you have some fuel and oil contamination, but that only occurred in very cold climate and when people don't warm up their car in that cold climate. Beside that, as far as spark plug fouling up, again, the spark plug will foul up, basically a lot of carbon deposit on them, again, from the direct injection and without the proper maintenance with direct injection. But beside that, looking at it, it has the compact catalytic converter right next to the engine bay. Thanks to the compact design, there's no more exhaust manifold. All these extra parts are no longer needed. The head of the engine serves as the exhaust manifold, pretty much. So the turbocharger is directly bolted on into the exhaust portion of the head, and that makes things compact. So look, your catalytic converter is tucked in here. No one's gonna steal it, which I really love that. And as far as the maintenance, what are you gonna do to this car? Change the oil regularly. Some people say 5,000 miles. I change my oil every 3,000 miles. Hey, some people say it's a waste. I have an older car, never bothered me. All my engines running beautiful. My engines have like 180,000 miles on them, and they work. So, but follow the owner's manual as far as the increment of changing the oil. Maintaining it should not be an issue. Air intake is right here, and they have the clips. I love those clips. Honda went to the screws, and now when they did the clips, I love the clips. 2 seconds, click, click, put a new air filter in, close it, have a nice day. Now, as far as the rest of the plumbing, I'm a car guy, mod guy. I look at this, and the first thing that comes across my mind is like, I need bigger plumbing, and my intercooler. And when I see plastic with the aluminum, I think of durability, or how long is it gonna last? Is it gonna crack? But to be honest with you, all the stuff is gonna be fine for 15, 20 years. I mean, it's gonna serve its purpose for many years to come. And when eventually it cracks because the plastic gets brittle, people complain about the intake manifold made out of plastic for these engines. Well, yeah, I mean, after 15, 20 years, once it shows sign of wearing, which the plastic gets kind of like brownish or changing color, it served its part. So these things are not going to fail anytime soon. So it's completely fine. As far as modifying it, I think it's fine. What Honda built is great for what it is. Now the other engine is a naturally aspirated engine. That's not the one I would get, just due to efficiency. The other one is 1.5. This is the 2.0, making 138 foot-pound of torque, where the other one is making 177. And remember, one thing I forgot to mention about the turbocharger is making 16.5 psi. That's over 1 bar of pressure out of a teeny little turbocharger. It's fantastic. It's a lot. Okay, and it has a variable actuator, so the turbo lag is always kept at check. So you basically have response constantly. I think that's fantastic. And of course, with the CVT transmission, there is no more manual transmission because of. You explain that one to me. Nobody wants to make it. I will tell you the reason why. Nobody wants to invest in gasoline engines anymore. Everybody's going to electric. So they're not going to bring engineers and make a new transmission for technology that is, I don't want to say it's obsolete, but they're moving away from. Now, this is the 2.0 liter engine. Again, the catalytic converter is tucked in right in. As you can see, look, there's no exhaust manifold. If you don't know what exhaust manifold is, open the engine bay on your 4-cylinder and look. And if you have an older car, you can see something here, like a big chunk of metal goes down, and that's the exhaust manifold. Does not exist anymore. It's part of the header. So the catalytic converter is slapped right into it. That's the oxygen sensor right here. This engine looks a lot more simpler because it is a lot more simpler. It's just a naturally aspirated engine. There's no turbocharging. The air just comes in from the air box, goes right into the right into the head, and sucked right into the engine. Again, this engine is very basic, very simple. As I said, I would get the turbocharger because for the price, for $1,000 more, you're getting more technology. You're getting more technology. Although the technology, you're not getting hybrid, which is the one I want. But again, we've discussed that with the Civic. The hybrid is a different lineup. It's more technology that gives you more power, more efficiency. A 158 horsepower engine in comparison to the 158. So it's a lot, big difference. Okay, 180 to 158, it's a lot. Now, if you compare them, the price wise is not that much. If you look at the difference between the EX and the Sport, truly is not that much. The EX is 25,000, where the Sport is 23, almost 24,000. So for $1,500 more, you get a turbocharged engine. The turbo, you know how much a turbocharger costs? The turbocharger itself is probably $8,000. Just go buy one, minimum. So you're getting that. It's a way better deal. I wouldn't know why wouldn't you buy that one. I mean, if now you can make a case between the 25,000 and a 22,000. But I mean, if it $3,000, I mean the MPG in the difference. So let's look at the MPG. So we talked about the engine. Before I go to the MPG, I want to show you something. It's not that much of a difference in MPG. It's not like you're getting a better MPG with the naturally aspirated. Naturally aspirated is 31 mile per gallon, 40 and 35. So 31 on the street, 40 on the freeway, 35 combined. This one is 33 in the street, 42 on the freeway, and 36 combined. So the fuel, to me, those are almost similar. Almost. Okay? So it's not like you're saving up on the gas. So I would say get the EX up in my line. The touring just comes with more bells and whistle, and I'll show you the technology. So as far as we talk, the transmission. There are two different transmission on these cars. There was one transmission for the 2.0 liter, and is a naturally aspirated, and there's one transmission for the 1.5 liter. So, but beside that, that's all the same. They give you the amount of torque, 138 at 4,000 RPM, 4,200. Remember, this is CVT, so it's not like you have some paddle shifting, but red line is pretty low because it's a very small turbocharger, 6,600 RPM. That's kind of high for that. See, naturally aspirated is a little bit more. The RPM goes up a little bit more, okay? But turbocharger, it's maxed out. The compression 10:3 to 1, obviously lower compression because you have a turbocharger, which is still kind of high, but you still have the VTEC direct, and this is multi-point. Fuel injection, that's good. Multi-point. Well, yeah, so you don't have the carbon buildup on the 2.0. There you go. It has a multi-point injection. And so let's look at the CVT. So that's the MCVT and LLCVT. It's just different gear ratio. As you can see, the gear ratio is a little bit different on the transmission. If you want to look at the numbers, be my guest. But long story short, if you're getting the turbocharger, you get an LLCVT, and the MCVT is for the manual. That's not like trivia, but they're really not really relevant. Interior measurement, they're the same vehicle. Exterior, they're the same vehicle. Body suspension, chassis, they're the same vehicle. So I'm not even going to bother looking at these. They're all the same Vic. Okay, there's going to be no difference in all these things. Turning diameter in the, well, that's kind of weird. Turn around, curb to curb. I'm not interested in that. What I'm interested in is the key features. So Honda sensing is standard on all of them. Apple CarPlay. It's wireless on the touring. So the touring has a bit more technology. The seats, heated front, leather trimmed for the touring. So obviously the touring you get a little bit more premium sound. You get the Bose premium sound, where on the EX you get a 180 watt audio system with 8 speaker. I think that's fine. 12 speaker. I don't even listen to music in my car, so hey, I just listen to my engine. But I'm a boring guy. Don't look at me. But anyways, the wheel 17-inch alloy gloss black. That's the max. Honestly, I'll put on a Civic. If I can put 16, I'll put 16 on this car, to be honest with you, on the EX. I would. I don't believe 17 in that little small engine. I have 17 on my Lancer Revolution, and it's making like 380 horsepower. So 17 is I wouldn't. But anyway, it comes with 17, is what it is. Built-in spot information, blind spot. Turn again. All the features, the safety, it comes with its standard. So Honda sensing. Let's see. All standard. All the Honda traffic jam assist, all standard. Low speed braking control is only available on the touring. What else? The difference, all standard shop of door lock, etc. Audio and connectivity. Yeah, we just talked about it. It has a Bluetooth. So Bluetooth handset. Okay, so Apple CarPlay is wireless on the touring. Android Auto is wireless on the touring. 2.5 amp USB smartphone adapter, one each. 18 watt. The 2.5 USB charging port, front console 1, second row 2 ports. Okay, so they have more ports, but again, that's something that you cannot fix by just going to Amazon and getting extra, extensions and stuff. So driver information interface screen is larger on the Touring. So that's something physically you're going to be able to notice, is the screen display is bigger on the Touring. Comfort and convenience. Well, actually, it's just check marks everywhere. Automatic climate control. They have a different features for that one. So front and rear, beverage holders, front and rear. Okay, cool. So what is this? So sunglasses holder, home link remote system, and automatic dimming rear view mirror, all standard on the Touring. So honest, is the Touring really worth it for these little things? If those things make a difference to you, then sure. I personally think the EX is what I'll put my money in, but these options, interior, exterior, there's truly is. I don't see any issues with this car. Detail, 180 horse CVT. See, there's nothing you can do about this. The design, you can get it. Honda has really pretty colors, to be honest with you. Okay, get it in red. Oh, this is cost more. Oh, that blue silver costs $400 more. I like that color. Damn, that's very pretty. Interior color. Everything black? Jeez. Really? Black. I don't like that. Okay, let's see if I go with this blue interior color. Again, black. Red interior color. Black. Okay, I guess black it is. Alright. Black, you only got one option. Wheels, you only got one option. Thank you very much. Package. What's package? All season protection package. You get all season protection package. Honda Performance Department package, decklit spoiler. I don't like spoilers and things like that, because all these things they do is they just cost you MPG when you're driving on the freeway. I don't want that much more resistance. I don't want any more aerodynamic resistance than I need. As far as downforce, you can get yourself a big fat wings and stuff and be silly, but for my daily commute, I don't want that, so I wouldn't do any of these things. Protection package, splash guard set, trunk tray. Yeah, I would. I have that for on my Honda. So, did I show you details? Come on, man. The splash guard set I really like. Okay, so I have that on my car. So the trunk tray, I love that thing. If you spill stuff in your trunk, it's basically a big plastic mold that goes in the back of your trunk. It's fantastic. Wheel locks, I don't really care for wheel locks. No, we're not living in the 90s no more. Accessories, body sliding molding. I mean, a lot of times when these things are already going to be standard in your car. Okay, like when you go get at the dealership, most of them going to have a lot of these things already in it. But let's just say you want to choose spoiler. I don't get the word spoiler. The spoiler meant to be scratched. I don't do any spoiler. Door visors. This what our money being spent for. Door handle film. Door edge guard. Body slide molding. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of these cars are already going to have that stuff already on them, because most people were selected, okay? So, that it kind of increased. So let's say you do all this little protection stuff, okay? Door edge film, whatever. There you go, door edge film. To add a door edge film, we also need to remove door edge guard. Yeah, sure, whatever. I have no idea. Anyway, so let's look at the price. So $26,595. This is what you're usually going to find on your dealership. Because, yeah, they usually have those things. The body slide molding, the door handle film. I'm assuming they might have it. So, in conclusion, $26,595 is not that bad. So in total, we went to $27,609. So $1,000 more when you add those features. Now, do you need them? No. You could totally remove them if you don't want them. You don't need to get that paint. That's $400 paint. You don't need to get the $300 package. I get that because it's just you're gonna wear out your carpet. So that's $300. I think it's worth the investment. Now, as far as accessory, the molding, you can just be careful when you open your door and when you park your car. Now, someone could bump their door into yours. That's a different story in the parking lot. But anyway, in conclusion, I think the 2022 Civic EX sedan is a good buy. The turbocharged one will be a good buy. Now, if you want to compare to other cars, I don't like doing comparisons to other cars. Like, I'm not going to compare this to a Toyota or something, because some people like Honda, some people like Toyota, some people like Kia, some people like Hyundai, and you buy the car that's on the lot, that's, you know, good financing, because that number doesn't mean anything until you go to the dealership and you see what kind of APR they have, what financing package they have. If you don't know, in the United States of America, we don't deal directly with the manufacturer. We deal with the dealer, which is just, I don't know, a guy working for the manufacturer. Okay, but they don't work for them. They basically just have a license to sell their cars. And the dealership could do whatever price they want. They can have incentives. So when you go to the lot, you might find this car at a cheaper price, or maybe I don't know. So you can do a lot of haggling. So that's one part I don't really like about purchasing cars. This haggling and blah 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 blah. So markup and whatnot. So, but anyways, according to the Honda website, this is what Honda would like to see this car being sold at. That's before you add tax and registration and whatnot. So I think it's a great buy. I like the way it looks. I love this car. I love the Civic. Now Honda chose not to put the hybrid in the Civic lineup as an option, and just the way they did it. They went to with the inside. So we'll make a different video about the inside. But if you want to get a Civic, I would get a turbocharged one, 1.5 liter turbo. I would get the EX, because just I find it to be the most efficient. You get the most efficient. You get everything you want from the Honda in that perfect package. I would stay away from the 2.0 liter turbo, because it's just why have an engine without a turbocharger? It's just not as efficient. And that turbo, it's not like that turbo is going to wear out in 60,000 miles. It's people have been driving this car. I know one of my friends that has it, the 1.5 liter turbo. He drove 130,000 before he got rid of his car, and no issue. 130,000, no issue with the turbocharger. It wasn't like burning oil or anything like that. So it was doing good. And so anyways, that's my review of the 2022 Honda Civic EX Sedan. Hopefully you found my knowledge to be a little bit helpful. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments below. And take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.